Boss battles are a major part of playing Terraria. From the King Slime all the way to the Moonlord, bosses are great for a challenge and getting loot. But how about the mini-bosses of Terraria? How's it going, crew? This is HappyDays, and today we're looking at my personal top 5 toughest mini-bosses in Terraria. A mini-boss in Terraria is defined as an extremely strong enemy that's usually part of an event, but not always. They generally drop powerful loot and are usually classed as a mini-boss on the Terraria wiki. A quick note that not all mini-bosses on this list are in all versions of Terraria, and as always, this list is my personal opinion, and I'd love to hear your favorite mini-bosses in the comments below. With that said, let's get started. Even after you've defeated them once, the Goblin army always has a small chance to spawn at the start of a new day in Terraria. Kicking off our list today is the Goblin Summoner. The Goblin Summoner is an enemy that can spawn when a goblin invasion occurs during hard mode. It summons Shadow Flame apparitions to attack the player. This mini-boss moves fast, summons multiple minions to attack the enemy, deals high damage itself, and has high defense for the start of hard mode, meaning your weapons will likely do little damage to it. That said, if the player can defeat the Summoner, they'll likely get their hands on one of the powerful Shadow Flame weapons. The dungeon contains powerful new enemies and loot once Plantaria is defeated, so most players will likely visit and attempt to collect them. Be careful, however, as the 4th mini-boss in our list, the mighty Paladin, can spawn and attempt to destroy you in the dungeon chaos. These powerful mini-bosses can attack through blocks, have high defense and deal high damage, and will usually attack you while you're busily tackling the hordes of other dungeon creatures. If you can manage to keep them in your line of sight, however, their attacks are easily interrupted by rapid-firing weapons. Just make sure you keep track of the other enemies as well, or you may quickly be killed by them. The Pumpkin Moon is a great event to battle before starting the endgame in Terraria, as you can get a collection of great equipment from it. However, to get most of the best loot, you'll need to defeat the Pumpkin, the final mini-boss of the Pumpkin Moon. The Pumpkin flies around the player, repeatedly alternating between 3 deadly attacks that all deal large damage. Whilst its defense isn't too high, pumpkins have a massive HP pool, meaning they can take a lot of punishment before dying. As the event goes on, more and more pumpkins will spawn and may completely overwhelm the player if they don't have a suitable arena or equipment. Terraria 1.3.4 introduced the Old Ones Army event that scales with 3 different difficulty modes depending on the player's progress in the world. After Golem is defeated, the whole event is unlocked, including its ferocious final mini-boss, Betsy the Dragon. Unlike other enemies in this event, Betsy focuses more on the player than the Eternia Crystal, meaning the player will have to split their attention between fighting Betsy and defending the crystal from other enemies. This is the true difficulty of the Old Ones army, as defeating Betsy is how you actually end the event, but if you ignore the crystal too much, the other enemies will destroy it and you'll fail regardless. If you've ever battled the Martian Madness event, you'll know that most of the enemies are fairly easy to take down, except one. Coming in at number 1 on today's list is the insane Martian Sorcerer. Consisting of 2 phases, the player must first destroy the Sorcerer's 4 turrets, which transforms it into a second Berserk mode. When the Sorcerer is Berserk, it will rapidly fly side to side of the player, unleashing its Death Ray attack, which deals even more damage than the Moonlord itself on Expert mode, and often will instantly kill the player even on normal mode. Thankfully, this boss can be cheesed by simply building a large safety box to avoid all of its attacks, but if you fight it head on, you are truly in for a challenge that no other boss on this list can provide. Well, there you have it, folks, my personal top 5 toughest mini-bosses in Terraria. Which mini-bosses do you think are the toughest? I've got a voting card on screen now, and you can also let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon if you enjoyed this video. And if you'd like some more videos to binge watch, why not check out our brand new modded Gunslinger series. And here's the most important part as always, you all stay happy and I'll see you soon. This is HappyDays signing out. See ya!